Hi guys, I'm Jess. We're gonna do a lower body workout today using just one dumbbell. It's gonna be quick. There will be a little bit of core sprinkled in there as well. And it's going to be 2 circuits with 3 exercises each after a brief warm up. So let's go. First, we're gonna start stepping with hamstring curls or butt kicks. So you're gonna step and think about stretching the front of the leg. So stretching the quad, keep your core strong so that you're not arching your lower back. You're supporting your lower back with your core. You can add a little bounce. So really just trying to fire up the back body. We're gonna be getting lots of quads today, so we wanna make sure we get the hamstrings and glutes too. Just a few more. Last 2. Right, so let's pick up your weight. I'm using a 10. Make sure you pick the weight that's appropriate for you. And we'll start with a squat, lowering the weight, pull it to the chest, and press up overhead. I want you to think about connecting your core and your glutes, especially as you transition to pressing up overhead. It's very tempting to lock the knees and sway the back. You want to brace core. When you brace the core, the shoulders work better, the hips work better, so you're much less prone to injury. Let's do 2 more here. And then we're ready to start moving. So we're gonna hold this weight with elbows bent 90 degrees and step back into a drop lunge. We're gonna rotate just a little bit in the direction of the front leg, back to center, step forward. Keep your weight in the front heel. Exhale as you rotate, so you're gonna think about wringing out a wet towel in that waist. So we wanna get a really nice twist through the core, connecting the core to that front glute. So you're making sure your spine is nice and tall, your heel is down. Depending on the weight of your dumbbell, you might start to feel your biceps and your shoulders a little bit here, holding the weight. You can hold it in closer to your body if that happens. Just make sure that you're rotating the whole trunk as one unit. Last one here. Good. We're gonna move the dumbbell into a goblet position and go into pulsing goblet squats. So come down into a squat where you still have your core engaged and your heels down. We're gonna pulse up, 2, and all the way up on 3. So about 15 to 20% in that pulse, and then 100% on 3. 1, 2, 3. It's always great to use a little punchy exhalation for your pulses. And then breathe all the way out as you come up. 2, 3, good. Using quads, glutes, and core together. Sitting the butt back. Make sure those heels are down. Otherwise, you might start to feel this in the knees. You really want to make sure your glutes and your core are active here. Last one. 2, 3, good. We're gonna get down into a long lever oblique crunch. Long lever oblique twist. So one leg is bent, foot flat on the floor. Other leg extended, hovering over the floor. Hands behind the head. We're gonna lift that straight leg straight up over the hips. And exhale, twist. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. This one's a slow build. Some of you may not feel it until we get toward the end. But it's really nice at anchoring your sacrum into the floor. Supports the neck. Let's do 12. Last one here. it. So just lower that foot, extend the other leg, and we go again on the other side. Inhale, exhale to come up. 3, 4, so again, a really nice twist through the waist. 9, think about a soft jaw, soft neck. Good, and let's come all the way back up. Take your time getting up if you tend to get dizzy, moving from the floor back to a standing position. So I'll give you a couple seconds here. And then we're gonna go back into that drop lunge with rotation. So we're gonna hold the dumbbell out kind of right in front of the rib cage, and then step one leg back. Keep your pelvis stable in space. Front heel anchored down. Sternum lifted, so we're not rounding the shoulders. Spine is nice and straight. The abs work better there. And then try to think about the relationship, a direct relationship between the weight of the dumbbell and your core. So it's like the abs are initiating this twist. You have stillness in the legs, softness in the jaw. One more. Good, and we'll move back into that goblet position. So feet about hip width apart, pin your abdominals in, don't suck in, but just think about compacting core so that they're working well. Inhale, come down, pulse up, 2, all the way up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, because you're holding the dumbbell in this position, it can be really tempting to round the shoulders. Try to keep that sternum lifted, your chest lifted. Connect that posture, thoracic extension with the glute and the core engagement. That might be too much to think about. Ooh, I can feel quads now. Last one, 2, 3. Let's put the weight down and we're back to the long lever oblique twist. So one leg is bent, foot flat on the floor. Other leg extended straight, hovering, hands behind the head. And we're gonna curl up, exhale, and twist. I really like core work that is soft around the neck and the jaw. Nobody needs more tension and effort in their neck and their jaw. Most people are too stressed, and we're too tight there to begin with. So you want to be able to simplify things to a place where you feel like you can really access abs and there's no tension along the way. So the leg is floating nicely. Your exhalation triggers abs. And the neck and the jaw are reasonably unaffected. Think about that sacrum, the back of your pelvis, just nicely anchored into the floor. Keep using your breath. Good. Okay, we'll come all the way back up. Grab this weight. We're gonna go into a staggered deadlift. So feet hip width apart, and then whichever foot you have in front, for me it's my right, I'm gonna drive that heel into the floor, so very, very light on the back leg, and kind of heavy in the front leg. Think about a nice straight spine. Inhale, send your butt back to stretch the front hamstring, the hamstring of the front leg, with a strong core. in this deadlift, in any deadlift, particularly when you're single leg, you're thinking about connecting the glute and the abs together. Nice straight spine. Keeping a soft bend at the knee. And then let's switch sides here. Inhale, exhale. Very little weight in my right foot. Engaging the whole back of my front leg, the left leg. Good. And we're going to move into a squat touchdown with overhead press like we started. So we started with this one as the warm-up, but this time we're going to do one leg. If you need to tap your foot down or just keep a toe on the ground to stabilize you, go for it. And if you can, challenge yourself to do single leg. This is going to use a lot of core and a lot of focus. So thinking about the heel. Be careful that you don't round your spine too much as you come down. Make sure you're really bending the knee to load that glute. And switch sides, so about 6 per side here. Okay, so lift that leg off. Everybody, almost everybody has one side that's harder than the other. I have a couple of ankle sprains in my history on my left. So my left is always a little bit more challenging. It just has to work to find it a little bit harder. Last one. Whew, a little bit of single leg work to get into the glutes a bit more. And then we're gonna go into a high plank with a dumbbell drag. So place the dumbbell just beneath your wrist on one side. Okay, and come up into a high plank with your feet hip width apart. I'm gonna take my right hand, so opposite side, and reach over. Take the dumbbell and pull it across the mat. So now it's under my right wrist, taking the left hand, dragging it across, digging into obliques. We'll do about 10 of these. Keep your pelvis as stable as you can. Back up. Into the staggered deadlift. So I'm going to start on the right side again, so my left foot is nice and light. Think about driving the right heel into the floor. Lift your sternum, load your core, and then inhale. Slide that dumbbell kind of in space along the front of the leg, the front leg. Keep your spine straight. Do nothing else. Do all of it, but definitely don't round your spine. So sweet, I need to check my grip. Reality switch, that's risky. How you go? You should feel a nice stretch and strength in the back of that front leg. Let's switch. Okay, so now I'm on my left, thinking about my left heel. Shoulders away from the ears, at the top. So we're not getting confused and trying to use the upper body to lift this weight. We're really letting the hamstring and the glute contract and pull the upper body up. Okay, moving into single leg. So we're going to lift this foot right off. Remember, you can just keep the toe tapped down if that's easier. And then lower the weight. That we are not rounding the spine. You may want to pick a spot on the wall to to stare at, to stay focused. If you fall, doesn't matter. Just take a second and get back into it. It takes practice. And switch. Okay, so about 6 per side for this one. Core and glute, I say about because if you do 1 rep more on one side than the other side, don't sweat it. You're not gonna all of a sudden be 3 times the size on one side than you are on the other with muscle. Just do your best. And if you do start to wobble, see if you can use it as an opportunity to try and catch it again. Okay, let's go back into this high plank. So dumbbell right under the wrist. Feet are hip width apart. Engage your deep core. Think about your lats too, so you don't load into the shoulders too much. And take opposite arm, reach across, and pull it to the other side. 3, 4, I always like to think about a connection. 5, between the palm of the hand and that same side oblique. So the waist muscle, see if you can feel that working. Last 2. Good. Nice little bit of strength, nice and connected in the core and the glutes. They're so important. Thanks for joining me today, and have a great day.